In today's video, we take on the full story of Monique and the felony Fixation. We review her performance of Love and of Lockdown, so put on your rubber gloves as we examine her best and worst bits. And to see what happened since, all this and more right here on the Lawd Lukan channel. Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. It's time to run the replay as we take in the full story of Love After Lockup's Monique and Titus. Good day, salute, and buenos dias to you. Big loves to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people, and a grande curve to the lords and ladies of the Lukan Manor. Well then, mon petit point, today we're deep diving into the case of Monique, the woman who once declared, "I'm not into inmates," only to turn around and date not just one, but two, and potentially an whole prison wing's worth of romantic prospects. Is it a veiled audition for reality TV fame? A calculated climb up the algorithmic ladder of glory? Or is it something more intimate? A craving for control? A preference for passion with a pinch of distance? Where love is locked up, and she holds the key. From Titus's web of post-prison promises, we're unpacking every twist, every text, and every tell. So settle yourself in and grab something suitably suitable. And let's begin. So, let's head on over to Cincinnati, Ohio. And if we stick together, it might be slightly less painful. And we get this shot again.
But I lied.
I wish they'd left the light off personally. I really don't like this woman. Attention-seeking control freak. And it's especially annoying when she says,
I'm back, bitches.
Slowmo, everybody's favourite, least favourite character. Why did they bring her back? In the last video, I said that Emily was probably the most annoying person this season. But I'm starting to have second thoughts after having this one on the screen for a few minutes. Okay, well, let's get this over with, shall we? Yay, it's a Titus and Slowmo segment. Yeah, great. It seems like she's forgotten to put some trousers on too. Gross. I also hated when she puts all the blame on Dirty Derek from her last season.
Ready to make love some?
Yes.
Now, it's true Dirty D was a naughty little sausage. He swung his club more times than Tiger Woods. But she was also seeing other men and sleeping with her married man when he was inside.
I was like out dating, still dealing with my ex, and like Derek used to kind of get upset about it.
But it always seems to kind of, conveniently forget about that. As far as I said, there was never a good guy or girl in their story. And check out this super awkward exchange from an interview with Way Up.
Going out with your friends.
Dropped the hand a bit quick there. Plus, she did kind of totally catfish him too. So you have to ask if he would have been so active with the other ladies if she was what he expected her to be. She looks like she smuggled Steve Wilkos and Dwayne Johnson into the studio. But anyway, we all know how it ended with Dirty Derek.
If you leave her, you might as well not even come back.
Cool, see you later, Mo. And now, Slowmo's a changed woman, apparently. Not exactly sure how, aside from the fact, she keeps telling us. But she's also been on a weight loss journey, a journey that kind of took her all the way to the pharmacy. But shh, it's nothing to do with the Ozempic injections.
And now I'm taking my Ozempic injection. I'm on 0.5 milligrams.
Now I'm just taking the piss, of course. I don't care what size she is. But I do think it's fair game when someone says they're putting in the grinds when they're blatantly not. Check out this clip where she goes to the fitness club. I've never been there before in her life. First of all, she's got this pristine yoga mat. Expecting a nice casual bit of stretching, perhaps. Nope, it's a full-on fling your wing Zumba session. Plus, nobody says like, "Hey Mo, good to see you again." And the whole time she's got her phone tucked in nature's handbag, the upper body cargo bay, her booby basket. But she's got purpose this season, because...
But then I met Titus.
Titus, yes. In case you weren't aware, Titus Walton. He's the one who held up the pizza restaurant with a shotgun. In fact, it was this place, Giorgio's Pizza, where he and a friend, John Hugley III, robbed the 3 customers in the tills for $400, then fled in this high-quality escape vehicle, driven by this man, Charles Farrow III. Then they were in a police chase and managed to make it a whole 20 miles until this genius turned into a cul-de-sac where he and John were arrested and Titus got away. And where he went wasn't really too much of a mystery, seeing as he lives about 1.5 miles from where it was. But it actually looks like quite a nice neighbourhood, really. But they got him a little while later, and here he is in court, pleading his case before he got 15 years. Poor old Giorgio's pizza, though. It does seem to have an oddly consistent spate of robberies. Titus robbed it in February 2012, and it also got robbed in March 2015. Then again in the following year in February by this guy, then again in January 2020. Blimey, you wouldn't want to work there in the beginning of the year, would you? You'd sort of go and work in the prison. It's much safer. So how does Slowmo try and play it all down?
Ohio is different because they will add kidnapping on for everything. And you get a kidnapping charge if you hold somebody against their will.
which is, it's kind of what kidnapping is. But yeah, weird Ohio and their stupid kidnapping stuff. It's like if you burn down a building, they'll charge you with arson and stuff. I mean, weird.
Say if I was to close this door and say, ain't nobody leave, well, that is kidnapping.
Kidnapping, it's always hilarious. But I'm not sure if that's a nervous laugh or an I've been stupid kind of laugh. But it really does show how naive she is and how impressed she is with herself. She laughs it all off like it's nothing, which kind of tells you how much of a sheltered life she's had, and that she's probably never been a victim of any kind of crime.
But it was a robbery, like, hello.
We've seen her flapping about, trying to be tough in the past, but she's 100% as green as she is cabbage looking. And while we're here, let's just expose another one of her lies, shall we? Courtesy of Titus.
Monique and I met about 8 months ago. I signed up for a dating site. And then one day, she was on there.
Now, that's not what she said on a live stream the other week, where she said his crimes were nothing crazy. She said she met him on Facebook. But that's not what our Titus just said.
So fit, so fine, 6'3", like, I know he could handle a woman like me.
Did you notice how she was hiding her face there? The phone was a standard sort of Slowmo, 2 inches from the face. Then she was clearly hiding behind her hair. And seeing as they've never actually met while he's been in prison, it makes you wonder if she's catfishing like she did with Dirty D. But then she gets a very important phone call.
Hey.
Hi Slowmo, it's Lawd Lukan. I make videos for the YouTubes. I just thought I'd give you a quick call about this season. How's it going?
Good, I just got done.
What?
Good, I just got done.
Ah, yes, yeah, to you too, yes. So I just wanted to let you know that you're truly awful and you're a total view killer for my videos.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, yeah, it's a total nightmare. I wonder if you just wouldn't mind, not being in it so much.
I said, yeah.
Great, yes, that'd be lovely. Also, consonants. I don't suppose you'd use some, could you? I'm just getting vowels on my end.
Why are you looking like that?
Yeah, no idea what you said there. Totally, we can see the edge on the wig there. I thought you were good at those bits.
You see?
No, I said bits, not tits. Please, I really don't need to see them. You can keep those bad girls undercover, thank you.
You want to see something?
As long as it's you ending the phone call, then yeah, well, go for it.
Time to go.
No, don't leave me in here. Help, I need an adult. So, what does a Slowmo actually do all day? Well, to tackle that subject and the next lie that we expose, we need to check out a thing that she said earlier in the episode. Now, I've gone and bought a bullshit meter. It sounds a little alarm every time I hear some bullshit. Now, I hope it won't go off in this next clip that we've got.
I work as a content creator and wig influencer.
Now, I believe the second thing she said, that she was a wig influencer. Influence a few wigs, but for who? I've never actually seen her on any wig-related sites. So that's a bunch of rubbish. And what about that content creator title? She's got some healthy views on the Facebooks, but does she make any money? Well, the Facebooks only pay you if you're part of their monetization program. And here's a few ways to check if somebody's part of it. Do they have ads on their roles? No, I don't mean those roles. I mean these roles. No. Do they have a send stars button? Facebook's way of rewarding your favorite creator? Nope. Does it say subscribe or become a supporter anywhere on the page? Nope. And do any of our posts say paid promotion with? Because of course that the FTC can fine you up to $50,000 for not disclosing material connection. Nope. Bless you. So, if none of those things are in place, then yeah, I'm sure she's earning loads of money. I didn't set the sarcasm filter.
I can do that anywhere. So I sign my lease.
Absolutely, she can earn no money wherever she likes. But we can already see signs of this relationship. Damn it, I've got to turn it off again. As I was saying, we can already see this relationship isn't what she makes it out to be.
I said, yeah, are you excited to come home to me? Titus, I ain't finna play with you.
You know, she spent ages telling her audience how she can't wait to show the world how in love they are and how much things have changed. But, from where I'm sitting, the only difference between this inmate and the previous one is that Titus doesn't pick his clothes from Gap Kids. And in this installment, Titus's cousin Jamal has popped over to help with some of Slowmo's favourite things, CCTV cameras. And watch this amazing greeting.
Good, how you doing?
I'll take that cousin.
Nice to meet you.
You want me to come up here and put these cameras up for him?
That hug was very stale, wasn't it? He turns his head well away, maybe out of respect for his cousin's wound, but it's the bit where she says it's good to meet you, and he says,
Nice to meet you.
You want me to come up here and put these cameras up for him?
yeah, didn't even finish the sentence. Well, at least he didn't lie to her. Probably the first man not to lie to her on this show. And I do love what Slowmo's done with the place. It's got that, minimalistic vibe.
And I wasn't sure about staying.
Where you from?
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
She's been there for months and hasn't even added a little touch of personality to the place. Well, she's not really got a lot of personality to spare though, has she? And what do you know? Another one of those perfectly timed phone calls pops up. That's uncanny, isn't it?
Give me a fragrance that plus our crypto knowledge.
Yeah.
And as I'm sure as we've all guessed, the video cameras are just a small part of Jamal's visit. Oh, and check out this picture I found on Facebook. Like it. Jamal's also there to check Monique's temperature and report back to Titus.
I'll be for real. Like, what's the energy like? What's the board?
I just popped in, so, I ain't really get to pick her brain like I want to for real, but...
Yeah, I think he's just being polite in front of the cameras. I want to know what he really thinks. But that's not the really troubling part. When Titus is talking about loyalty and being crossed, he says something that's just a little bit worrying.
So, you cross me, any enemies, and I'm gonna try to cut your head off.
Oh, good. Lovely, yes. See, that's usually rhetoric, but coming from a guy who's happy to wave a shotgun in your face, it's a touch more worrying. And naive Slowmo has no idea what she's got herself into.
What you was talking about?
Nothing really, just sort of chopping people's heads off for stuff, nothing important. But she's not happy now she's not in control of the situation, and her insecurity begins to fire, and her fears and naivety begin to show.
I don't know, I'm kind of scared going to a prison.
Yo, dude in jail, you gotta get over that.
Nah.
And there we have it. She's absolutely petrified of the idea of being around dangerous people. Did she not realise she's in a relationship with dangerous people? Who did she think they were locking up these days? The vegan librarians who write strongly worded social media posts?
Like they gotta search you and being
That ain't...
in an enclosed area with a bunch of criminals.
Yes, that's what they call a prison. That is where they put those bunches of criminals. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about having no experience and having never been around crime and bad people. And that she thinks the guys are just the boovie-craving kissy-kissy ones that she's had experience of. And I hate to break it to her, but she's planning on enclosing herself with a criminal pretty soon.
You in a closed area right now with, I just got out of jail too.
You can almost hear her filler spanks from here. Next, we're off to Ohio. And here's a fun fact about Ohio. It's a common place for people to shoot their movies. For example, they made the Avengers there, right here in Cleveland, which is where Captain America apparently takes charge of the battle against the Yeah, means nothing to me either. They also shot the Shawshank Redemption there, at the Ohio State Reformatory. Oh look, I think they were filming something else when this was taken. Lots of lights and a big trailer. Other super duper amazing things that were filmed in Ohio, of course, include that famous scene where Slowmo said, "I dare you to put your hands on me."
Are you put your hands on me?
Watch out, bro. That's stupid.
But today, in Cleveland of the Ohio, this story focuses around Slowmo and her man Titus. And yay, woohoo, guess who's coming over this week?
My sisters will be here to see my house for the first time, and I'm excited about it.
She says that they've never been there before, but the 2 air mattresses that she gets out of the cupboard have both been opened and used. But they've never been there before. So the ladies turn up to the house that's emptier than Titus's promises.
And welcome to my house.
Okay, we see you don't have the furniture yet.
Yet, it's been like nearly a year at this point. So essentially then she just sort of lives in her bedroom. She's not working or anything, she just sits in this one room with a TV and a phone. So who's in jail here? So the overprotective and clout-hungry sisters are back. And they've got one question. Who's got the best moustache?
The main purpose of us coming here was to see what Titus' intentions were with Monique. The last situation, I saw it unfold, and it was just too much drama.
Now Slowmo's decided not to tell them either about why he was in prison or the fact that things had been a bit rocky. Hence she decided not to buy any furniture. So they all pop out for dinner to discuss old Loverboy.
Tell us a little bit more about Titus. How long has he been incarcerated?
13 years for robbery.
And they were cool with that bit. Here's a question for you, dear viewer. What length of time would make you raise an eyebrow? Granted, it depends on what it is, and maybe for some people any time is too much time. But let's say your friend has met a new person and they say, oh, well, he's only been in for a couple of months. Okay, well, maybe that's not so bad. Couldn't have been anything too horrific. Or what if they said he's been in for a couple of years? Okay, well, I'm starting to get a little bit worried now. Now I kind of really need to know what they did. Or what about if they said he's been in there for more than 10 years? Check please. But then, Slowmo gets another most important phone call.
My baby loves red cars.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, I've asked you not to call me that. Hi, Slowmo, it's Lawd Lukan again, the guy who makes the YouTubes. Do you remember me?
Yeah.
Good. I was just calling to say that I've got some waxing strips on sale at Walmart at the moment. So, you might want to pass that on.
You want to see my sisters?
Nope. So, as always, Titus manages to call at an astonishingly convenient moment while they're filming. Wow, that's uncanny, isn't it? So, the sisters take Titus off to interrogate him about his intentions towards Slowmo.
Right now, it's the love on her, I guess.
What do you guess? You said just to love on her, you guess? We need you to be sure.
Oh dear. Now they might be a little bit overprotective, but I can kind of see why. Slowmo isn't exactly good at making decisions, and has a dating past which has left more bodies than Jeffrey Dahmer, which incidentally was also shot in Ohio and was the location where he killed his first victim. In Akron, in fact, which is also the home to Cyrax the Goblin Lolcow, who likes children and putting a stylus up his bum. Anyway, seeing as Slowmo's street smarts consist of locating the sidewalk, she's probably not inspired much faith from her sister's point of view. And Titus isn't about to go making it any better.
I got a son to take care of. I have an older mother I gotta take care of when I get home.
And as we cut to him in prison talking to the production crew, it becomes more and more apparent that his past life isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
I got close relationships with my baby mom. She's been riding with me forever, so.
And there it is. I think we all knew that this was going to happen. And there's a little tiny piece of me that kind of feels a little bit sorry for her. She went on her live telling people how excited she was for the world to see her new relationship and how great it was. And then we find out that to keep Slowmo sweet, Titus told her that his baby mama knows all about her. But
No, actually, my fact, I don't know or have a clue who Monique is.
yes, indeedy. And we still don't really know if Slowmo's the only pen pal that Titus has been communicating with. Although I do hope that Karma likes to watch a bit of Lalu too. And that Titus's baby mama hasn't been telling him the entire truth about who's been keeping her warm and busy the whole time he's been away. And when the sisters start to grill him on his meh answers, he takes the easy way out.
Sister.
I think he ended it.
You don't say? Wow, you must be the genius of the family. And I'm guessing it's not the only thing that he's going to be finishing prematurely. And I mean that in a kind of a relationship way, and not in a sort of, oops, that doesn't usually happen to me kind of way. The old Eminem and Mariah Carey kind of thing.
Just finished talking to Titus, and he seems unsure about a lot of stuff.
Like
sister.
what?
What the hell do you think he's unsure about? The weather? Oh, it's sort of the decor at your place, or, whether the security cameras have got a decent enough warranty, and, a little bit of whether or not he's really all that into you. But in true Slowmo fashion, she is sailing her boat on denial. And it's not Titus's fault, no. It's the sister's fault.
I felt like y'all was like trying to do what y'all did in my last relationship, and it's like, no, I don't want it to be that way.
No, I've been quite lucky, really, not having the interfering sister kind of thing. I've been sat down by the father kind of thing. And actually, that particular guy said that his dog was a really good judge of character, and therefore I passed the test. But surely, if you have a sister giving you the 3rd degree, then you just have to write it out and let them know that it's all fine. That you're glad that she has an invested family. And, you know, you can borrow him a razor. But one of my favourite parts of the scene is this bit. Did you see it? Here it is again. Did you see it that time? It was Slowmo versus Straw. And here it is in slow-mo. She goes in. Oh, nope. It got away. A bit like a man. They cut away so fast, though. I wanted to watch her chase the straw around the glass. Anyway, the sisters ask about the baby mama. And it turns out that Titus had a 10-year relationship with her. And Slowmo doesn't know if they broke up, if it's all.
Did y'all talk about that?
We did.
And for the rest of the part, it's like boring, like who cares, like.
Like.
Slowmo then uses the old Titus method to escape the conversation in slow motion, and she heads into the restaurant where she decides she'd like to have a much closer look at the floor. I shouldn't really laugh, but it's just that she goes down so slowly. It's like Slowmo even takes a dive in slow-mo. I have a couple of thoughts on this. Number 1, where there's a blame, there's a claim. Or number 2, it was a creative way of getting out of the conversation. Throw yourself on the floor and create a diversion. Good job.
Monique, you okay? Call the ambulance.
Yeah, you better had. That floor might need resuscitating. Righty, let's get to our last appointment of much disappointment for the day, shall we? Well, for that, we'll be doing one of those cool mappy zoomy things to this place. Nouveau modern Mexican and tequila bar. And have you guessed who it is yet? Well, last time we saw this person, they were chasing a straw while sitting at this table. And then went on to assault the floor in this particular building. And if you haven't guessed who it is yet, let's go in and find out, shall we?
You okay?
She just fainted.
Just sit here for a second. Don't move.
Call the ambulance.
Yes, it's a Monique and Titus segment. Now it's totally not funny that she fell over. But shall we have one more look? Shall we, for educational purposes? That's totally not funny at all. The floor could have been badly injured. And I love how many emergency services turn up. The ambulance rocks up, then the fire brigade, SWAT, Homeland Security and Greenpeace are on their way too. But it turns out that Slowmo fainted, in slow-mo. So they decide to get checked out in the hospital.
I didn't even feel woozy.
All 3 of you?
All 3 of you, slightly alarmed.
All 3 of you?
Yeah, make some room. The Robinson girlies are coming aboard. That'll test the old suspension out, won't it? And as one of the sisters, I don't know, Barbara or something. I don't care enough to find out who it was. As she gets in the car, she accidentally releases the man who's been held hostage in the back. See, there he is. So he makes a break for it while he still can. So they get her off to A&E, which is here. And I think the architect of the nearby building has a sense of humour. That's that's an unusual shape, isn't it? Anyways.
I fainted.
Well, you didn't give the lens a wipe, did you? Just saying. Now we've got misty vision. Like those old-fashioned films where they stick a load of Vaseline over the lens.
Blood work came back normal. I think I was just hungry and hot.
Now, I'll get to that in a second. But have you ever noticed that Slowmo can't look at the camera when she's doing the interview bits? She just sort of looks off to the side. We're over here, Mo. Mo, the camera's over here. Over here, Mo. Never mind. So, what does Slowmo put the fainting down to?
I've been taking weight loss injections.
Maybe get a refund. I see she's stolen one of their towels too. Good job.
I haven't ate or drank anything since 2 p.m. the day before.
Miss, Slowmo's lying, miss. Slowmo's lying, miss.
I didn't realize I went that long without water and food.
Let's run the clip. So, all these plates on the table, all these empty glasses, they were just there when you sat down, were they? More lies from the Slowmo. Then if she spent less time chasing that straw around, then maybe more water would have made it into the Slowmo.
I'm feeling much better. I just need to get some food.
And maybe a little wet wipe for that foundation that you've got all over your top now. Now, I've managed to find out where they were quite easily. But what if I managed to drop us into the random part of Cleveland that they show us in the next clip? Here's Cleveland. Pretty big, huh? Well, let's see if I can land us in Slowmo's car. Ready?
I'm feeling much better. I just need to get some food.
Back at her house, which I haven't found yet. At the place that I haven't checked to see if it's rented or not yet. Or whether she bought it, as she says she did, yet. Slowmo gets on the phone to tell her man all about the fainting.
Out with my sisters earlier today, and I fainted. Like I haven't ate or drank anything.
Nothing to see here.
Weird, though. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, what, weird, huh? But I'm a little bit undecided about this next part, and find myself kind of torn between two thoughts. Allow me to explain. So, Slowmo tells Titus that she can't make the meeting with his cousins Nigel and Jamal. And so Titus says,
I had conversations with you over and over again about how to carry yourself and how to be on point.
So my first thought was that he was being a bit insensitive. Whilst I think she just fell down because she's had a few drinkies, and that's definitely not advised when you're on the Ozempic. Because if you combine alcohol and Ozempic, you can lower your blood sugar, which for somebody who has diabetes is a little bit stupid. But also because it can cause, guess what? Dizziness and it also reduces the amount of weight loss that you can actually achieve. So if she was to faint because of all that stuff, then maybe he should be a bit more in tune to her needs. However, since she's lied about all the food and drink that she's had, and that's something he wouldn't know, he would just have to go and rely on what he already knows about her. So, do we assume that he's learned that she's a bit lazy and avoids doing things? That they've already had conversations about how she needs to take care of her business more, because she hasn't been? Or is he just dismissive and failing to empathise with her? It sounds to me like this isn't the first time that she's gone and changed the plans.
Go out and do whatever you feel like is best, or whatever it is, like, they're not paying attention.
Now that's a distinct lack of compassion. But is it because he's just not that into her? Or because that he thinks that that's just how she is? Lazy and evasive.
And something bad happens, it's like, what is that?
Titus.
But what if she did actually have an issue? Would she deserve that kind of reticence? See, that's where I'm a little bit unsure about all this. But considering that I think she's just had a drink when she really shouldn't have been, and took a drunken dive in the diner, is his reaction justified? Well, whatever the case, Slowmo knows one thing for sure. It's probably the camera crew's fault.
In my room with cameras in my face. It's aggravating.
Next, it's a little trip over to Ohio to see how Slowmo is doing after all that stuff about fainting. Check out the little linky thing, wherever that is, if you missed that. Man, we get a slightly unusual looking Slowmo.
Came to me for fainting and called me a dumb bitch. I don't need the added stress or pressure, considering that something is going on with me.
It's quite funny that I saw someone on Facebook say, wow, she looks really good now. Yeah, no, she's just got a good angle now. In fact, she's holding the phone so far up in the sky that we can see the door frame behind her. And that phone is higher than Troy pretending to be Dale. So she's still holding on to all this illness bit. But then she goes on her live to talk to her friend, and we get the full story.
No, it was really because I didn't eat or...
Holy shitballs, Batman. I didn't know the crackheads are us at a podcast. God, that's a beard there too, isn't it? She kind of looks like a tanned Howard Stern. Are you okay? It's like when people do the TikToks and they put something slightly more distracting on the other side of the screen to avoid the fact that their content is shit. You know, like pictures of people cutting cake. Just so they can hold on to your attention for more than 5 seconds. She is quite distracting though, by the way. But actually still more interesting than Slowmo. Anyway.
Well, they called us at like 9 o'clock. My sister and them, they was at the hotel that we were supposed to meet directly at the thing. So they was like, okay, well, tell your sisters to meet you at the house. We're going to start filming y'all getting ready.
Oh, gave away a little secret there. So the sisters had to go and grab those mattresses and inflate them. And then go stay in a hotel overnight. You know, the cast get fined some of their money if they give away too much, which is something that Slowmo gave away in her last live. So, you know, good job, Slowmo. Then the production even made the girls deflate the beds the next day just for fun.
And then they was like, okay, we're going to come out and we're gonna film y'all taking shots and everything. So I'm like, y'all go film us taking shots first, and we haven't ate nothing.
And you can see the shot glasses somewhere in amongst all these empty plates of food on the table. She can talk so much rubbish, doesn't she?
So then, this is when they have filmed the call with Titus. And I was already irritated with them about that because I'm like, I told y'all before we got here, like, y'all not doing that. Like, don't do the messy shit. Like, I'm not with that, you know? And then y'all do the complete opposite, you know?
Right.
Of course they did. They own you now. You signed a contract to say that they could do whatever they like. I have actually seen a copy of the contract that these cast members sign. And it says that they can also create any story that they like about you or your family, and you have to sign away the rights to be able to sue them for defamation or libel afterwards. They even have the right to take a portion of your wages in perpetuity afterwards. So essentially, they really do own you. The NDA that they make you sign, or non-disclosure agreement, now that does expire, but your contract doesn't. So if she tells them not to film a bit that she thinks she doesn't want to have filmed, yeah, well, you know what they're going to do about that.
Like, at that point, I was, like, arguing with the producer. Like, I'm not saying nothing else. I'm hungry. Y'all got me sitting out here in the heat.
Then they were like, yeah, but does it look like I care? Now get out there and do some reality, puppet. Then we get a bit of sign language from Crazy. She tries to do the signal for wrap it up, but I think she's sort of either raving or having an aneurysm.
Me and my sisters, like, we get to arguing. You know, Sylvia, she get up, she storm off because she mad. So that's why I'm like, y'all be talking about y'all want the drama. Like, y'all didn't even play, like, the whole part with me and my sisters fighting.
That's because no one cares what your sisters are doing. See, this is probably why they moved her dumbass to Ohio. So we don't have to put up with Tweedledum and Tweedledummer messing up the storyline.
So,
They wanted more than that than what it was.
Shh, don't strain yourself there, darling. You just sit there and make Slowmo look more attractive, you know, by comparison, like what you're supposed to do, thank you. Let's leave all the bullshit to her, shall we?
yeah, it wasn't like glass was breaking and all of that stuff. No.
It was true.
And so, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we're going to move on.
Don't do drugs, kids. And the bit where she tells us that the sisters slept in a hotel explains why they didn't know about the argument she had with Titus. And Titus is clearly very sorry that he didn't support her or believe her story.
So did you think about everything?
Did I think about everything? What's that I'm supposed to be thinking about?
No, maybe not. But Slowmo is determined to get an apology out of him. However, Titus is taking a slightly different route and has decided that the argument was so yesterday and that they both already said what they had to say. And now he wants to move on. But Slowmo's not having it. She wants to make him feel very, very bad and hear lots of sorries and do a bit of groveling to make her feel a lot better about herself.
We can't put it to the side until we discuss it and you recognize where you went wrong and, like, if you plan to do better.
Crazy to me that you saying that.
You making it seem like I did it on purpose.
Tripping then. So what's the thing really real?
Which is really quite telling, isn't it? He's convinced that she's lying to him. So you can imagine that this isn't the first time that she's used a dodgy story to get out of something that she doesn't want to do, like visiting him. Which, even though she's been there for several months, she still hasn't done yet.
Let me talk to him. Titus. Let me talk to him. Titus.
And she just lets her sister take the phone. I mean, who even does that? It's not like she actually needed any help at that point. Sister, or whatever her stupid name is, just wants to take control of the situation and get her face on the telly, thank you. And Slowmo, of course, just lets her because she's got nothing. No oomph, no energy. Just meh.
This is her sister, Calandra. And sister, Sylvia.
Oh, sorry, let me just go get the no fucks that I give about that. And her sister Sylvia. She just had to get that bit in there, didn't she? I'm here too, you know, don't forget me. No one cares. Get off the screen.
So we kind of just heard how you was talking to her, and we really didn't like that. Like, why are you disrespecting my sister?
They act like he was shouting and screaming at her or something. But he was just calling her out for some bit of behaviour that was a bit sketchy. And then they come in all protective. Didn't really disrespect her though. He just didn't bow with the respect that they wanted to see.
You know how to treat the man in a relationship. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's always these double standards going on with men and women.
All right, okay, well, he's lost me now. I was kind of with him up until that point. But now he's just using the argument to voice all the disappointments that he had with women in general, who haven't treated him like the king that he sees himself as. So Slowmo resorts to an ultimatum.
So are you not finna apologize? Because if not, then I'm just finna block you and then
I don't know, like...
She's always got something on her top, hasn't she? It was foundation last time, and now she's got some dribble and some toothpaste, or, whatever that is. It's quite funny, though, that now she's in front of her sisters, she's grown a pair and is speaking up for herself at last.
So it's like, I'm not about to keep doing this with you. I'm not. You want to sit up here and have this whole tough guy act? Like you don't love me for real? Okay, you're showing me you really don't.
Okay, cool. See you. Bye. No, how can I ever live without you?
If you're not about to apologize, you're about to be single, and I'm about to just be done with you.
He's probably got a few other desperate gout wives hanging around, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
Don't reach out to me, don't call me, don't text me, don't do nothing. He's done. He's getting blocked.
What's the betting that she doesn't, though? You know the producers wouldn't let that happen. At least, not until they've got all the footage that they need for this season. Plus, we know that she's still in that empty house because we can see it in the background in her podcast.
Just going through the same thing from her last relationship with Derek. It's no different.
Well, I do think it is quite different. At least Derek treated him with some semblance of respect when he was inside. Sure, he cheated his little miniature butt off as soon as he got out of prison, but he didn't really show her that much indifference and disrespect prior to that.
There's nothing else to say.
Good.
What? What is it?
Doordash for Slowmo. We've got an appointment with Slowmo and Titus over in Cleveland, Ohio. And it never ceases to amaze me how much of a hypocrite she really is. For example, recently on her Facebook she said, "I find it so weird that my ex-family members has yet to unfollow me on social media, but is now also following Titus on social media too." But that's sort of crying face. That's so weird to me. Fur face. And then when Crystal Bumpers, nice name, says they just want to keep up with the shenanigans like the rest of us, Monique says, "Why? I ain't keeping up with them." Or that MF. It's still weird either way. Okay, well, first of all, without the Derek story, you'd still be a receptionist at a vet's place, and even fewer people would care about the wig videos that you're making and pretending to be monetized when you're actually totally not getting paid for them. Then secondly, how would you know they're not following you unless you're monitoring them? Yeah, I think we all know she's a bit of a lurker, isn't she? Strangely enough, a load of my videos that used to feature her suddenly managed to get struck for copyright. In fact, OG Cam used to do it too when he didn't like what I was doing with it. But Slowmo just seems to call people out for doing the same thing that she's actually doing. But no, it's fine when she's doing it. Or when she accidentally invites somebody that she did mean or didn't mean to invite onto a TikTok live thing.
How did you get on here?
You requested for me.
What?
You requested for me.
I didn't request for you.
You did request for me.
Okay, well, can you get off of here? It was an accident. I'm sorry.
Why I gotta get on you? What I did?
I don't know either.
Yeah, no, what I do? I'll say what I do. You tell me to get off. Why I gotta get off?
And then she pretends like she doesn't know how it works.
You want to sit and talk to me?
No.
Let me bring this other person out to you. You can talk to them.
Oh my God.
What's this? Ollie? What is going on here, dude?
Oh my God. Can y'all tell me how to get off of here?
Oh no, how do I leave the conversation? What a mystery. Yeah, whatever, Slowmo. Such a fantasist gaslighter. Anyway, back to the episode, and Slowmo is talking to who and why about her fallout with Titus. She almost had a fallout on Facebook too.
I can't believe Titus had the audacity to call me a dumb bitch.
Yeah, can you believe it? What a lack of creativity. He only called her dumb. He could have gone for something much spicier, like you're a We'll be back to our usual programming shortly. Elf-absorbed whinger. That's how you do it.
He's not apologetic at all. He's just very combative.
Well, what the hell did you expect? He's the kind of guy that thinks that robbing people at gunpoint is a good career path, and that jail is just sort of an occupational hazard. What on earth gave you the impression that compassion was a strong point?
He's not taking accountability. He doesn't feel like he did or said anything wrong.
Yeah, your fainting thing was a bit dodgy though, wasn't it? You just got pissed up while you were taking medication and he wasn't buying it. There's the thing about criminals though. They are pretty good at smelling the old BS when it's wafting through the air. Something that who and why are also quite good at.
To know that he's probably just not the guy for you.
Absolutely. You know, they say that repeating the same action and expecting a different outcome is the definition of insanity. Well, Slowmo seems to think it's more of a kind of a reward card kind of deal. Collect 10 tramps and you get a free bum. Have you noticed that Slowmo's eye can't be bothered to go anywhere? She looks forward, cool, then she looks to the side and it totally loses interest. Back to the front again, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm down with this one.
You know, anytime like I'm my true self, I always get burned in the end, so that's why I always...
Lie your ass off?
Always.
Gaslight people?
Always.
Control the narrative?
Have my wall up.
Ah, yes, walls, yes, of course, that's what I was going to say next. Then we have to put up the sister's point of view for about the 100th time.
I am concerned about my sister's health. And I feel like this relationship is...
No one cares. Skip.
I just feel like you don't come across a love like this too often.
Well, for Slowmo, it seems to happen with some regularity. And just because something's rare, it doesn't mean it's valuable.
This statue was under Grandad's bed, found after he died. But we never saw it on display.
Well, it's not actually from a statue. It's a personal item from the late Victorian period, and we'll leave it at that.
Oh.
As you can see, some things are rare and worth embracing, and some things are just uncommon, and you can just go, stick them up your ass. Slowmo's fine? Well, I think it's more of the latter. So then Slowmo goes into some painful times in her life, which I'm mostly going to avoid. But I will say that some people take painful moments and use them to gain strength and perspective, wisdom. And some people use them as a point of pity.
Made me be really cautious of men who I allow in my life.
Did it now? Yeah, well, I can't say I noticed with all the BS, getting in the way. I'd say that she learnt precisely, let me get a pen. 0. Back now to Cleveland, Ohio. But don't worry, I'll try and make it painless for you. And as you might remember previously, there was a knock at the door.
What was that? What the?
Did you see that? Here it is again. Did you see it that time? Well, they'd bought a bunch of props to make the place look less deserted, but I didn't know they actually bought the stuff especially, and the props weren't the only thing they'd bought. How do we know? Well, see, both Slowmo and the chairs still had the price tags on. Good job. So the person at the door was of course Titus's cousin, Jamal.
You want me to come over and check on you, make sure you was cool?
I'm good.
Yeah, this isn't awkward at all, is it? Although I'm pretty convinced that the crew got him to come over. It's got that whiff of WETV timing where people conveniently come over at the right point. So Titus issues some kind of apology. Not a good apology, just sort of a half-assed meh kind of apology. We don't see him actually apologise. But he is asking if she's accepting his apology, so we can imagine that there was one there, but the TV show just edited it out.
Can we move forward?
Yeah.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
And from there, she's all smiles and all the stuff about being insulted is totally forgotten about.
I guess they mean we back together.
Really? Is that all it takes? Now, she said that she'll book an appointment to go and see him. Something she said she'd do for over a year now. But will she do it this time? Well, her relationship might just depend on it.
If Monique doesn't come to visit me, I might have to rethink how serious she is about this relationship.
Now it's time to go get some Mo action of the slow variety. Well, action's a bit ambitious, isn't it? And she's pretending like she actually does some housework. And just like her chair and her top from last week, the broom still has a label on it too. Yeah, she uses it all the time. But hark, somebody's at the door.
Hey, girl, how you? Good. Girl, you look cute. Thank you.
Ah, it's Jasmine. And that's quite a unique way of spelling it, isn't it? I wonder if that'll be significant later on. Wink. So then, Slowmo, introduce us to your new friend.
Jasmine is my friend that I met in Cleveland.
Now, I might be completely wrong about this, but I don't believe this is her friend at all. I have a feeling that she's a plant from the producers. I can't explain why I just thought that exactly. Only, that I had more hunches than Quasimodo. But you know me, it's not like I'll go out of my way to dig into the person to find out who they are. Hang on a second. Now, the name Jasmine is quite a rare way of spelling it. In fact, in the whole 340 million people that there are in the United States, there are precisely 111 of them, 42 of whom live in New Jersey. And in Cleveland, Ohio, there is precisely 1. Now, I'm not going to reveal exactly who she is or her interactions with official people or her social media, as she is, of course, just an extra, and that would be unfair. However, everything about her checks out. Her job, her van, her socials. But there's nothing that publicly links her to Monique. And given how terminally online Monique is, especially on Facebook, it's unusual there's absolutely no trace of a friendship there. And as the great Judge Judy says, if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. And how much of a scripted line does this sound?
I feel like she can give me a lot of advice.
So I might be totally wrong, but I smell something fishy. And I'm not talking about Bella's brothel. Anywho, they're off to buy some sofas, so Slowmo's house doesn't look so deserted.
Are you nervous?
I would be. She's not got a seatbelt on and you're flinging that van round the corner. Oh, steady as she goes. Oh, they made it. And Slowmo isn't in the footwell. Good job.
I guess.
At the furniture store, and Slowmo gets a call from Titus and decides it'd be a great opportunity to show how she can lie in the most unconvincing way possible.
Just at the furniture store.
Where you live?
I'm by myself.
Okay, not too bad, I suppose. The beginning was a bit weak, then it sort of tailed off with that massive pause in the middle, and the least said about the ending, the better. But apart from that, yeah, she nailed that one.
I want nobody else.
No, I got it.
Alright. I plan on giving back and install and deliver all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Jasmine and see if she'll help me.
So instead of saying something, slightly more obvious and realistic, like, I'm going to get it delivered, she opts to claim that she's going to get a teeny tiny friend who makes the optics in the van look a little bit like Derricky unbalanced. To do what exactly? Sort of chuck it on her back?
I know he know you ain't about to lift no damn couch.
But Titus is about to show us a bit of the true colour stuff.
I don't need a whole party over this bitch. So I'm trying to set up one sofa. And it's unnecessary after all.
No, I hear you. Alright.
Alright, later.
Alright, babe. Talk to you later.
And now some people think this is all about being controlling, but I have a slightly different thought on this one. And I don't think it's necessarily because he's jealous and wants to keep her in isolation, just in case the other boys come and try and have a go. Sorry, I couldn't even keep a straight face for that one. But I think it's in case he gets rumbled. All it takes is for Slowmo to meet somebody who knows somebody else that he knows. And by that I mean somebody who might know Titus's baby mama. And it's game over for what could be his real plan. If he loves and cherishes his baby mama, like he said in his court forms, which we must admit might be a little bit, untrue, then he would be very keen to make sure she's unaware of the other sugar mamas hanging around.
He gets so upset with me hanging around my friends, especially my women friends. Like, why are you that jealous?
And as I said, I don't think it's about jealousy. I think it's about protecting his truths.
He just want to keep me inside, like sheltered, away from people.
You're in his hometown, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who knows exactly who he is and who he's connected to. And I don't think he's the only man to take advantage of Slowmo today.
For $1,000 even, it's a good price for that.
Is it though? Is it really?
It's a good price for that.
Let's have a little look, shall we? So she's gone for a delightful 3-seater, or maybe a large 2-seater. From here, they're A to Z furniture and appliances on East 55th Street. And here you can get a whole corner couch for $1,100, or 2 sofas, 3 tables, and 2 lamps for a little under $1,200, or this one, which is just like the one she's got, for only $800. So I'm thinking that deal wasn't as much of a deal as he told her it was. Now, we'll get to that sofa bit in another video. But before we leave her in this video, I wanted to cut to the prison visit.
Hello. I have a visit scheduled for today. Titus.
Well, she failed to get into the prison, but she didn't fail to buy some snacks. So it wasn't a total loss after all. And she didn't have any labels hanging out, so, small wins and all that.
They on me.
Oh, so what happened? Why didn't she get in? Well, we'll have to find out next time.
Where are you at?
Right, let's go see what Slowmo's up to, shall we? And she's finally made it into prison, and this time she gets more than just snacks. And so, why did she get turned away last week? Well...
So I have to change my shirt, because it's see-through apparently.
Yes, indeed. She was dressed far too provocatively for them. Imagine that, Slowmo dressed provocatively. But is that the whole story? Well, in an now-deleted post from her Facebook, Slowmo said, So, the minute I walked inside the prison to see Titus, the COs was immediately on bullshit with me. They knew who I was from the show and was trying anything to deny my visit. After that visit, I had scheduled another one. A few days later, it was cancelled, to then find out they banned me for 6 months for literally nothing. Yeah, you know literally nothing always means literally something. The idea that she was a little bit too famous is an ego trip and a deflection. She probably blamed the prison because she felt a bit embarrassed, wanted sympathy, or wanted to look like the victim. She has, of course, since deleted the post, but with the production company being involved, explain why Slowmo hadn't visited, explain why Aisha had the problems, and why Gigi still turned up on a family day, and ultimately why Kaylee ended up having a spot and bother with hers. Because, you know, it might not be the first time they've messed around with the visits and pickups. Let's cast our minds back to when she met with Derek the first time. Yeah, that went well. And what do we make of her prison visit story?
When I first saw Titus, I had to walk up and go over to the CO and check him first. But he like stood up and I was walking towards him. I actually had to like reach up and hug him. And that was just like so sexy. His like big arms wrapped around my waist. I was like, oh.
So a man's a mix of Mr. Tall and Mr. Tickle, if he's way up there and managed to get his arms around her at the same time. But that's all it took for her to decide that she wants his babies.
I do believe Titus is my soulmate. I've never felt this way about any man in my life before.
And you'd hate to put that kind of pressure on somebody who's just come home.
I don't want to put that pressure on somebody who's just coming home.
But she does anyway, and Titus is thrilled about it.
I can't tell you about no baby until I come home.
You gonna give me a baby?
Which is quite odd, isn't it? Because around the time where this was filmed, in the middle of last year, if it coincides with the time they were filming The Other People, Slowmo posted this. Last night, my man said he gone put a baby in me. I'm contemplating about breaking up with him since. Laughy face. No, your man refused to talk about it until he gets out of prison. He doesn't want to tell you no until he doesn't need you anymore. And with a certain amount of respect, a 37-year-old woman with diabetes and anemia, so she says on her Facebook, then let's say, a generous helping of pudding, may not be the best place to grow a little person. So this is where the Slowmo story ends for this season. And I think unfortunately we know that she'll return in other episodes of Love After Lockup. Probably not the next one, but soon, and for the rest of our lives. It says that she looks forward to starting a family. But what about Titus? Does he feel the same? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And so, to find out what happened at the end of all this, let's cut to one of my recent live streams and get the details. Next one. Now, there's been some developments in this one, hasn't there? Oh, hello. Dropped him. We've got Monique and Titus. Well, Titus, another inept criminal, his getaway driver drove down a cul-de-sac where they got caught by the police after robbing a pizza restaurant.
Yes, pretty much.
No credibility there. But of course, I'm assuming, Mary, you know the latest gossip on these two? Care to take the lead?
They are currently no longer together.
Absolutely, because?
She is banned from the prison, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who she's with now?
No.
Jamal. Yeah.
From what I read, she said that he's just a friend.
Okay, well, can we back up for a second? How do you get banned from a prison?
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right, this is Monique's story. I don't know how true this is.
Okay.
She says that she showed up to visit Titus. The correction officers recognized her from her last time on the show with Derek. And they decided that they weren't going to let her in. So then she went and she tried to apply for another visit, and they denied her for that visit. And then they banned her from video visits for 6 months because apparently, and this is one thing I've always wondered, Lord, when it comes to Love During Lockup, do they get approval to record the video visits with the inmates? Because apparently that's how Titus got into trouble. They saw that they were filming his video visits with Monique. And that's why Monique is, according to Monique, banned for video visits for 6 months. but I don't know if it's related or unrelated to that. But her and Titus are broken up, and she swears her and Jamal are just friends because she's out there in Ohio with no family, no friends, no support system, and her and Jamal are just buddies.
Well, apparently, when they were doing their TikTok live together,
yes,
that's when they admitted it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, this is what I'm hearing from a couple of different places.
Right.
So I haven't verified that myself. I should probably have add that caveat. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm reading. Yeah, for sure.
You know, my beautiful viewer, love without vulnerability is just choreography, all movement and no meaning. And boundaries without self-respect is a lot less like protection and more like a performance. We chase down the closure like it's some sort of cure. But here's the truth. You don't find peace in the same mouth that lied to you. You don't find healing in the hands that caused the wound. Closure isn't a conversation, it's a decision. A quiet, defiant choice to stop explaining your pain to people who benefit from your confusion. Choosing what works isn't the same as choosing what lasts. And what's valuable to someone else may be unworthy of you. Because worth isn't about being chosen, it's about choosing yourself, even when it's lonely and even when it's hard. So if you're watching this and wondering if you're asking for too much, let me be clear. You're not. You're asking for just enough to finally be whole. And here at The Manor, we don't chase what's familiar. We honor what's true. Because the love that liberates, well, that's the only love that's worth locking in. Thank you so much for joining me here at The Manor. It is, as always, a huge pleasure to have you here with me. Let's do it again soon, shall we? So, if you like what I do, then please do like, subscribe, check out one of these little beauties. And until I see you again, stay beautiful, love to my three. You take care of yourself.
Please subscribe now for our plan. Thank you.